start recording. Okay, last time we finished on the functions and import, and today we need to take a look into files. That's why I asked you to try to do it in home about input output, because today we're going to finish this, take a look for this part, and then we will finish with bathing things in Python. So today we're going to take a look how can we work with the files. Here is some samples. Let's go forward step by step and take a look how it will work. So first, we have the file which the name is my file. Here it is. You can put it in any place, whatever you want. But if you will put it outside from the source code, then you need to put the correct path. First, we have the standard function which names open. It has two parameters, the path to the file, and the second parameter is the way how it will work with this file. It can take different options. One of them is parameter R, which it means read. So when we do in this way, it means that this file, which will be accessible through this environment, through this variable, only in a read format. So we can read, but we are not able to change this file. Yes, to write. Another one option is write. So it means that you will be able to overwrite the information that already present in this file. Another one option is A. It's from the first letter from word append. So it means you can add something to this file, but you cannot not to change it. So, and also there are additional options we will take a look. So for now, let's start from R. So now we open the file for working with this file in a read format. And through this variable, we can call a function which names readLine. ReadLine will read this file line by line. So this file looks like this one. When we call this function in this way, it means that behind this variable will be only the first line, only this one. Then we read it second one time, then we will have this another one line. Let me try to maybe remove for temporary reasons this part of code just to run and see the result. Here is line number one, line number two. We print the result here and we close the file. Do not forget to close it. But there is a difference between these two prints. The difference is in this end. And this end is additional parameter. It's not required. It overrides the default end that contains the command to go to the next line. It means if I will remove it, let's see what will happen. Here you see there is additional line.
Oh, I see.
And this line is because the end by default looks like this one. So we override the default end in this way to do not put here additional line.
Oh, I see.
That's why. So let's move forward. So I suppose we understood that the read line means read only line by line. And in some ways, yeah, you want to ask something?
No, go ahead, continue.
Sorry. In some ways, it's not really good because you don't know how many lines you have, and it's much more better to use for loop instead of writing it manually each time. So for such cases, when you have several lines in your file, you can replace this part by this one. So the open and close is still will be present in any case. You need each time to open the file and close before you will do something. But instead of read line, we can use for line in F, and we'll print line by line. So the result will be the same. And here you can see we have several
all the lines.
Yes, and here you see the result is changed because another part of what was done. So this part just reading. And before we have 3 lines of codes, and here we have 3 lines of codes. So it reads everything it has.
Okay.
Next one is append. And here we will append information to the file. That's why you see these 2 lines was added.
Oh, I see.
So I will remove it and run it one more time.
How is the code? This is PyCharm. How
Yeah,
is the
this is
code?
PyCharm.
The code is running everything, no?
Yes, this code, I run this file, so it will run everything in this file. I can split it in different files, then it will not.
Oh, no, it's perfect. Just I thought those number dashed lines between each code can yes.
No,
Can
it's just
separate.
comment, visual comments. So
Okay.
it will
Okay,
go from up to the end.
Okay, perfect.
So, so now we will do the next things. We will open this file in the format with append. So we're gonna append in these 2 sentences to the file that already contains these 3 lines. So you already saw the result. Let's run it one more time. I guess nothing complex for you. So we have 3 lines, and we add two more lines for this file. So when you want to write something, just use the function write. Another one sample will do the next one. We will read information from one file and write information for another one file. So we will open 2 files. One of them will be for reading, another one for writing. Then we will read in a different way. We will read it by the number of bytes. And this parameter, it will show us how many bytes we will read. So we will read part by bytes. And
when you say byte, it's letter or one character.
It depends from coding. So, but generally, for example, sometimes you need 1 character can require 1 byte. Sometimes 2 characters can require 2 bytes. It depends from language, coding, and for example, in Java by default it was 2 bytes per character, because Chinese character can require more than from another languages. But
Java is Chinese? I didn't understand.
I mean, like, for example.
Oh, I see. So certain characters.
Chinese character, if we will compare with English character, they require more bytes per 1 character.
Interesting. So, okay, back to the thingy. Now we'll read 10 characters or 10 bytes?
10 bytes, let's say 10 bytes. Suppose it will read 10 characters because we use English. And I suppose that in Python, 1 byte will be equal to 1 character. But you need to remember that it's not the rule. Like 1 byte is not equal to 1 character.
Okay. Yeah. I got it complete. Okay.
So for now, we will read from 1 file and then put information for another 1 file. And for the first reading, we need to read at least first part. That's why you see this line here, and you see the same line here, but this line is inside the loop, so it will repeat this reading until there will not be any information inside, so message will be empty, and the length of this message will be 0. Until 0, it will repeat it until there is any bytes inside. So we will read each time, and we will read from 1 file and write to another 1 file. And we will keep going until we have something in this file. And then we will close 2 files.
Okay, it should close it when it reaches 10, no?
No, it will close when a message will be equal to null. So it will read 10 bytes to this message, 10 bytes, and in some moment there will nothing to read. So the result will be 0.
Oh, so basically it's doing the same. Okay.
So message will be not 0, the message will be empty, and the length of empty message will be 0. So in this moment it will finish and it will go out. So we have another 1 file. I will remove everything from here now, and even let's remove here. And I will run this one more time, and you will see that information will be present also here.
Oh, I see.
So we read from this file and put information
Put it
here.
okay.
We can run it one more time. And so on.
Okay.
This is
Just let me go through the syntax again. So we're opening the file and then a new file to write in it. Input file read 10. While length of message. How this is while length of message is 0? Where's this the condition 0 and
it's how while will work. So you will get length will get from string number of characters in the string. If it's empty string, then the length will be 0. And the while is working like while if it's 0, it will not work. So there is no condition like equal to 0, but it will do the same things.
So while so let's say there's 10 letters. While it's 10 letters, copy it, and if basically if you went through the 10 and it becomes 0, you stop, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So let's move forward. Another one part, what I want to show you is now we're working with only text files, but we can work not only with text files, we can work with files that contains image. And this is the image of my dog.
Oh, nice.
And we are going to do the copy of this file, and we will read also binary files byte by byte, by bytes, I mean. Like for this, let's see this example. So we will open this binary file, my image it calls, this one. And the format is RB, read binary. And we'll read bytes and put it to another binary file. And here we should put write binary. So we will copy image from this one to this one. So we will create the new image. I guess we can even delete this file. Let's try it. So we delete it. Let's run it one more time. And see, it creates a new one file. And the image in this file will be exactly the same as image in this file.
Nice. So a question. So open now. When you say open a file, there wasn't a file to open. It created it from scratch.
It is created from scratch if we put here write or write binary. But if you will put here read and the file will not be present, then exception should happen.
Oh, okay. And the extra letter, which is B, binary means
binary,
like 0 and 1.
Each information is storing in a binary format, like 0, 1, but yes.
Okay. I don't just I want to understand what we add. And this is used for the pictures only, images?
Any binary files, not only pictures, I think.
So we can use it for the text as well?
I think yes, why not?
Okay.
But the body is the same one, nothing. So we changed only this format and we didn't change the while loop and so on. This part is still the same.
Okay.
That's actually what I want to show you about the file. That's all. And now let's try to combine our part with functions with algorithm. And previously you have tasked with Fibonacci. And I want to show you several options how this task can be resolved. So as I promised you, let's try to combine not only syntaxes, but also some algorithms. So here is several options to how the task can look like. But let's start not from this one. Maybe let's start from this one. It is, I think, the simplest to understand. This one, or maybe even, yes, let's start from this one. So how it works? Here we define the function, we call it Fibonacci. Why it's the function? Because we have the keyword def. Here is the name of function, and here is in these brackets the parameters. And after this column, we have the body of function, which returns the value. Then we call this function in this way, and we put here this argument is 9. So this 9 goes here as a parameter 9, and the result of function we will save in the variable result and print this result in this way. So if we will run this, we see this result, the array of Fibonacci numbers, how it works. The body of function will return the array of these numbers. For the beginning, we assign this array as an initial value. So initial Fibonacci numbers will be 0 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then we use for loop, and we use range from 2 to n plus 1, depending from what n will be equal. So we need, for example, 9 numbers, so we will go to 10. If we need 11 numbers of Fibonacci, we will go to 12. And how it works, we took this array and we append each time for the next number the result of operation of summing previous and or let's say current and previous number. So for example, we will put here 9. So we will go till 10. A range will start from 2. So in one iteration, it will take 2 minus index will be equal to 2 minus 1, element in index 1 and element with index 0. And the value of this is 0 and 1. So the result will be 1. Next time iteration, index will be equal to 3. So we will use the element in index 2 and 1. 2 and 1, it will be 1 and 1. The sum will be 3. Sum will be, 2. So we save 2 here. In the next iteration, it will be 4. So index will be 3 and 2. And here you can see that index is 3 and 2. It will be 2 and 1. The sum of this will be 3. And so on, so on, so on, so on. Is it clear or?
A bit, no, honestly, because so for I in the range of 2, so the range of n actually. So if you put the 9, if you put 9 in the n.
Okay, here I will have range from 2 till 10.
Right? Okay. Okay. So, and oh, I see. And
so
this is
I will go, it is indexes, it's not the values. It is index of array. So we already have index 0, index 1. Then we will have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The indexes.
Right.
So if index I is equal to 2, so we need to put here some elements, and the value will be what? We'll take element from index 1 and index 0. 2 minus 2, 0. 2 minus 1, 1. So we will take element from this index and from this index. We'll sum it and put it here.
Okay, so it's taking the index and putting it in a mathematical equation and then taking the result.
Yes.
So you're using the n.
It takes index, but one more thing, it takes value under this index from the array. So let's say for 2, we know what to do. What will be the next iteration? I will be equal to 3, right?
This is the index 3.
Index, yes. So you will take element from array with index 3, which is will be equal to what?
Index 3 is
sorry, 3, but it means minus 1, index 2.
Index 2 is 1.
1, okay, and here index 1 will be also 1. 1 plus 1, 2.
Yeah, but
Next
how did you
iteration-
oh, there is no, wait. So but you're asking as if it was already an what they call it, like a list, like you're
Yes,
using the
list. I
result as a
use
list.
list. Yes, list, yes. And I append each time element to this list. And each time next element is a composition, is a sum of two previous elements.
Okay, I'll play with it. I understood you, but I'll play with it with the program um and try to change some parts to see how to understand it better.
Okay. Another one approach, let's look for this one. It looks a little bit complex, but it does the same things. We will do the same things without list. We will just need environment variables A and B. So we have defined function. We will call this function. And here will be the result, the Fibonacci numbers. So the first number, let's say A, we assign 0, B, we assign 1, and then we ask user what will be how many Fibonacci numbers we need. If he will enter less than 0, we will inform them it's incorrect. If it will be 0, then we will return A. If it will be 1, we will return B. In other one case, we will use for loop. And,
nice.
And for loop will be exactly the same, but what? But we do not use list as a storage. We will use only environment variable. We will print the result each time here, and we will reassign in each iteration the value. So we'll print B here. B will be 1 for the beginning. Then we will do operation of summary. The result will be C. A will be reassigned B, like moving from previous step. It was 0, 1. We print 1, then A will be equal to B, which was equal to 1. So A start become equal to 1 instead of 0. B became equal to 2 instead of 1. And in the next iteration, we print and do the same thing. We zoom and shift it to the right. So A will become 3, B will become 5. A will become 5, B will become 8, and so on and so on and so on.
I completely like this style of algorithm click with my mind better than the previous one. Maybe because I don't know, but I fully understood this one.
Okay. The next one approach is to use recursion. There is it's also a recursive approach. You will take a look at, but the idea is we have function, we define function, and this is the step when we will finish it. But when the n is equal, n minus 1 is equal to 0, but it will, before n minus y equal to 0, we will always go to the else statement. Here we'll do generally the same action, but the most interesting part is here. Just take a look, return Fibonacci. What does it mean? Fibonacci, and we go inside this function one more time. But for the first, we need, for example, 10 numbers, and the start will be 0 and 1. Then we will go here, we will execute the same function, but instead of 10, we will put here 9. Second last will be like previous element, it was 0, but in next time it will be 1 because we assume the latest, which was 1. So here will be 1.
Yeah. This
and
have
here will be 2.
Yes.
And so we will repeat it until this will be done. And when it will be done, we will, in reverse order, go from this code.
Yes. So sorry to cut you, but this one is very similar in logic, especially in the else, under the else. It's very similar to the previous one we just were talking about.
Yes, but here we use, instead of 4 with range, we don't see any 4.
Yes.
Recursion, so it's another one approach.
So So those two I do understand.
Remember,
Which one you would consider is in theory lighter for the processor and faster, more efficient, I guess.
I guess I will use recursion because it's, I don't know, it's
Okay.
more interesting. But there is another one option. We can do the same things, just if we will know the mathematics formula. So the result will be identical. So you can get the Fibonacci number just to calculate it without any recursion and without any loops. It's like completely different approach.
Okay, and this one will give you just the end result, no?
Yes, it will give you the end result, yes, because we don't have any loops and so on, but it will give the correct end
Nice.
result.
Oh, this is the math. I was looking for the math on Google when I was trying the square 5 to. Okay, perfect.
Betty, I have to finish.
I'm perfect. We did. I have a homework I need to work on, and then we can decide when we meet next.
Let me stop